Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea with Phoebe D again. And if you're here early, you can just say hello in the chat. And I am so happy to have you here. We're just going to wait to really start until 9 o'clock. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm getting less and less nervous and more excited to do these with you, so that's a really good sign. Okay, so welcome to Tea with Phoebe D. This is my new mug that my amazing and beautiful friend Lucy bought for me for my birthday. And if you can read it, it says Tea with Phoebe D with a really gorgeous orchid slash pussy flower on the back. So I love it. It's my new favorite mug. Today, I'm going to talk about why we keep healing the same things. But before I do, I just wanted to say if you haven't seen me before, my name is Phoebe, obviously, and I'm a women's sexual and emotional empowerment coach. And basically what I mean by that is that I teach women tools to help free themselves from shame, conditioning, fear, anything that kind of holds them back in their sexuality and their life. And I teach them to really fall madly in love with their bodies, their sexuality, and themselves. And to me, empowerment just means being conscious or aware of your ability to shift and change your life or to change how you experience your life. Yeah. So, why do we keep healing the same things? So, I don't know if this is your experience or if I'm the only one. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. But I find that in my self-development journey and my growth journey in becoming more myself and being aware of the things that are, that could use some fixing up, a lot of times I come up against the same things over and over and over. It's not like I heal something once and it's like healed forever and like it never comes up again. It might come up in a different way, in a different situation, at a deeper level, and it can be really frustrating. I know that I have a friend who was talking to a woman in her life, and the woman said, "Well, I thought that you dealt with your parent issues last year." And we both kind of laughed at it because dealing with issues with your parents can be definitely a lifelong thing. And but then sometimes I catch myself doing that, right? Like, why is shame coming up here? Like, I thought I dealt with my shame, a couple months ago, or I thought I released that, I thought I healed that. And so, um, there's a few different reasons for that, and I'm going to talk about one main one today. And this is by no means meant to be like the all-time authority on like, these are all the ways and that's it, right? Like, there's a lot of reasons why we can keep healing the same thing. One main reason is because maybe we heal it in our minds, but we don't heal it in our bodies. We don't heal it in an embodied way. That's kind of, that that's the case when you think, like, I know that that's true. I know that I'm enough, but I don't feel like it's enough. I think healing the mental layer is one step, and like a really important step, usually the first step, where we realize, oh, that's actually not true, and we know it to not be true. That's a really beautiful and powerful thing. But if we don't heal it in a really embodied way in our hearts, in our guts, in our bodies, then it will stay there. Then even though we know we are enough, or we know that, our body is beautiful, we won't act like it is, and we'll react defensively from the place of not believing it is, etc., etc. And that's why I love the work I do so much, is because I was taught, and I'm so grateful that I was taught this, because like I didn't know the difference before I started this course, but I was taught to really heal things in an embodied way. So that's been really amazing. So I think that one of the main reasons, another main reason why we can keep healing the same things, is because we are conditioned and raised to believe certain things when we're children. And like that's like our entire reality, like what our parents teach us and what we see around us. Maybe what we're taught in church, or what we're taught in like what we see in school. Those things, like that is our entire world, our entire reality. Children are not aware that like, oh, there's all these options out there in the world and my parents happen to believe this one. Like it's like, no, this is the way the entire world is. This is reality. This is what I need to fit myself into. This is what's okay and this is what's not okay. And this is dangerous and this is not dangerous. And like this is fucking like reality. This is the way things are. And we often don't even question it until we're like, I don't know, well over 18. Sometimes people question it earlier, or you can start to question like little aspects of it earlier. But to really see the full picture, I don't feel like we really get that until we leave home, whenever that is, really. And like that's a lot of conditioning. So to think that you can have like one session with a coach, or like do this like 1 weekend retreat, and then boom, like you're done, you're healed, like that issue will never come up again, is a lot to ask. And sometimes that happens. I'm not saying it never happens, it does sometimes, but more often than not, we come up with it, and like we might heal that one belief or wound in one area of our life, but it might come up in other areas, or it might be deeper. And a lot of times people talk about growth being like an onion, you know. You peel off layers, and then there's like another layer of I'm not enoughness underneath that you haven't dealt with yet. And I like thinking about it a little bit differently. I like thinking about it like we're in the middle, and the more we expand, the more conditioning we bump up against. Because all this conditioning is like out here, layers of conditioning to keep us small and to keep us small and to keep us small. And so when we expand and we grow, or we grow our worldview, or we want to become bigger, better people, then we hit these layers of conditioning, and then we kind of heal that, and then we're able to expand, right? A little bit further, and then like boom, we hit another layer of conditioning, and we heal that, and then we are able to expand. It like feels so good. We're like, oh, I'm expanding. Oh yeah, I'm doing this new thing in my life, and then boom, we hit another layer of conditioning. And I guess I just like thinking of the onion that way. Is that I'm coming up against this because I'm growing. And so it's a good sign. It's a good sign when you come up with another layer or another area of your life that you need to heal your core wound again, or more, or in a bigger way. Sorry. I find it really difficult sometimes to accept that it takes a long time to heal something fully, especially when it comes to the conditioning I was raised with. That I was raised in a extremely strict religious sect that was maybe a cult, or at least quite cult-like. And man, some of the beliefs are so stuck. I have done a lot of work on them and they still are stuck deep inside. But like, I was taught that belief a minimum of 3 times a year, or 3 times a week. I was conditioned, like we went to church 3 times a week for like 28 years. I didn't leave till I was 28. So like it's a long ass time. It's no wonder that I can't just get rid of them in like 6 months. And it's okay that it takes time. It's okay that it takes time to heal our core wounds and these deep beliefs and conditioning that we got growing up. It's okay. And healing can happen on our own gentle, compassionate time. It doesn't have to happen immediately, although that would be really nice. And then, like I said, sometimes it does happen immediately, every once in a while, and that's nice. um, so I just wanted to share some of mine, some of these core wounds that I've gotten that I've dealt with in different areas or that keep coming up in my life. So the one that's come up over and over especially since I started my course and started like moving into my sexuality and becoming a sex, love, and relationship coach, is that pleasure is dangerous. And I have healed quite a few layers of this, but like recently, I kind of moved into a different sexual experience in my life, and the same thing came up. And when I try to expand my orgasm, it comes up. And when I try to dress more sexy, it comes up. And there's like just different layers. Like at the beginning, it was like, oh, just like masturbating felt dangerous to me. Or like just enjoying sex felt dangerous to me. Like there was this fear that came along with it, and this like part of me that wanted to shut me down and to stop me from enjoying it or to take me out of it so I wasn't like present in the pleasure or present in the moment. And like I'm okay with that now. Like that's fine. I don't feel that way about that anymore, but I feel it in other ways, in new ways. And when I expand into new experiences, that's when I feel it again. Another one is I'm not desirable. So again, so this came up a lot because no matter how much the person I was with desired me, it never felt like it was enough. And I always wanted to like do something to like make them show me that I'm desirable or something instead of me knowing within myself that I'm desirable. And I've healed that pretty thoroughly in my relationship with my husband. So like an intimate relationship, and in my relationship with myself and my relationship with others for the most part, but then in this like new sexual experience that I had, it like came up again. I was like, oh, interesting. So I kind of like had to deal with it again in that situation. And then I'm not capable enough is a really big one. I think this came more from being the smallest in a family of 6, and so I really never was as capable as anyone I saw around me, right? Because I was the smallest, and like obviously when I was 2, I couldn't do the stuff that my older siblings could do or whatever. And that's like a big core wound for me. So, um, yeah, that one I'm still totally working on. Um, yeah, I think I'm still on like maybe the second layer of that one. I haven't expanded too much with that. But actually, that's not really true because I prove to myself over and over that I am, and I like make myself do things even if I think I'm not capable enough. And then I prove to myself that I am. Like doing live YouTube videos on sex. That's like really scary, but here I am doing it, so yay. Another really big one, yeah, the last one that I'm going to share is on shame. So shame has been a really big feeling or something that stops me a lot in my life. And I was just talking to a friend of mine, like we were raised to not wear earrings or jewelry of any sort, only a wedding ring, and the wedding ring had to be very plain. And so earrings and jewelry of any kind was a huge no-no. And she was saying that she has a kid and that she was thinking like, will my daughter be ashamed of me for wearing earrings? And she knows that that's not true, but like she knows that it's not something to be ashamed of, but that's so drilled into her that she feels that way. And I have felt that myself so much. Like all the things that I was raised to feel shame about, it friggin' comes up, but not as much as it used to. Like way not as much as it used to. It's way better. I can like wear shorts out in public and not even think about it. I can wear my earrings to church even and feel totally comfortable. Like that is huge for me. That used to totally bring up feelings of shame. Um, and I mean, yeah, I've come a long way with shame. Um, like talking on YouTube about sex. As if I ever would have done that before, not in a million years. And yet here I am, and I feel fine about it. I actually don't feel ashamed at all. But the other day, oh my goodness, what was I wearing? I don't know. I was wearing something out in public, and I totally felt that same shame conditioning come up, and I knew that I wasn't wearing anything that was crazy, and even if it was, like, I don't think anybody should be shamed for wearing anything. And so I knew that it wasn't something to feel ashamed about, but it came up again. And so I think as we heal things, as we heal more layers and expand into our life more, we heal the same things, but it's not going to be a continual thing for the rest of my life. Not like, I'm not saying shame won't come up, but um, the more I deal with it and the more I get comfortable with dealing with it, like it comes up less and less and less. Like I used to feel shame all the time about different things, and now I feel it once in a while. Enough, it's rare enough that I really notice it when I feel it. Or like this not desirable feeling, like that used to really affect all the decisions that I made in relationships. And now it never really comes up except for like this one time recently. So even our core wounds can be healed on so many levels until we like expand so big that we bump into it again. And that's like a really good thing. That's like really exciting. It means that you're growing and changing and becoming more powerful. So if you feel like you're bumping into the same thing, healing the same thing all the time, it's okay. It just means that you're growing. It could mean, I should say, it could mean that you're just growing more and more. And to have compassion on yourself that you've been taught these things for so many years, like pretty heavy conditioning maybe if you're anything like me, and that takes time and patience to shift. And also it's good to consider like, is it something that you just know in your head and maybe you need some more like embodied healing? And embodied healing is hard to explain in 1 minute, which is what I have left, but it's a process of like, you can use breath work and deep meditation and shaking and moving and dancing, anything that like moves your body, and also sometimes like really allowing yourself to act out this part of you that feels shame, or like, and like really be that shame, and like be that like anything like me, that like big monster that's like dark and shadowy with like big teeth. Like allow yourself to act it out and like be it, and just like be it in your body instead of just like knowing it in your head. And yeah, that's it for today. I hope that gave you some food for thought. Here's to your healing. And I will see you next week. Next week, I'm not going to do, oh yeah, next week, the week after next, I'm not going to do a YouTube live because I'm going to be away. But I will be posting a video. So next week, I'm going to talk about how to stop waiting for your parents to change. Oh, that's a juicy one. That's a really juicy one. Yeah, how to stop waiting for your parents to change. So I'll see you then. Mwah. Thank you for joining me at Tea with Phoebe D. I hope you have a wonderfully messy week, as always.